Hey, good morning, Facebook. Happy Sunday to you. It's quiet in the backyard. I'm going to be a little extra quiet. It is Sunday, so I'm going to mind my neighbors, minding my kids as they're still sleeping, and my wife's up. She's actually going for a run. But good morning to you. Welcome to episode number 28 of the Daily Dose with right here, this guy, Coach Mark Avens, creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough, an online coach helping moms and dads over 40 losing that weight, helping them to lose that weight and look and feel 10 years younger. It's one of the other things in doing so without long workouts and impossible diets. But for this morning, I want to share with you a little bit about faith without works. And I don't even know if I actually, sometimes I'll put what I'm going to talk about in there. And it's Sunday. You can hear the birds, they're chirping. I'm actually facing the other direction. The sun was a little too bright and shining on this big shiny dome of mine. But good morning to you. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Christy. Welcome. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. And just checking out if this is your first time watching the Daily Dose. Why am I doing this? This is the 28th day straight at 8 a.m. giving you a daily dose of encouragement. And I just kind of found there was a need for myself as well as a lot of other people where we have lots of doses. We get up in the morning and we can get a dose of discouragement, like, oh, we're stuck again home. We can't go to a restaurant. We can't go to work. Our kids can't go to school. We can't go to think of on today, on Sunday, where those of you who do typically attend a church in person can't do that either. There's all those things that can be very discouraging. And I want to share with you really more encouragement, something that I've been doing for a while with my own life, and just I'm typically more of a half full, actually over full type of person. I want to be encouraged in my life. I think it's too short. Our lives are just too short to waste being discouraged. It's short enough. We only have one life to go through with, and if we waste days being discouraged and being so worrisome and filled with stress and all those things, we can just waste a whole lot of time, precious time that we just don't get back. Now, I know you won't get this back, so I hope the most important thing is that you find value in this. Welcome, Jonathan. Thank you for joining me. And that's truly it. If I can just help encourage one person, then my duty is done for the day. So I'm planning to continue to do this 28 days indefinitely, 8 a.m. daily dose. You can share all I ask that you do if you do enjoy this. If it is something you find encouraging, chances are it's probably encouraging to somebody else in your world, maybe in your social network. So feel free to share this on your page, share this with a friend. Do so. You have that ability to. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to wave to you as well. Welcome, Kara. So I do appreciate you. It is Sunday. And I know for a lot of people who get up, believers, some may be wanting to check out faith, check out their faith, check out this whole thing about God, and they can't do it in person right now, right? Like, it's something that you are going to have to tune in online. You'll have to do so by, going on to Facebook or going on to your church's website or going on to YouTube to capture a message from a pastor, right? A pastor of your church, pastor, maybe you're checking out some other churches, whatever it is, maybe you've never even gone to church and you're actually now you find yourself now where, gosh, there's a good message and there's good news that comes with learning about this whole thing about faith. And again, I don't want this message to be just about faith, but if you've been watching or following me at all, I'm very open about it. I'm open about my faith because it's the most important thing in my life right now. And I say that, while I say that, it goes beyond Sundays. That's kind of what I was waking up. I woke up this morning and I'm usually filled with notes, and I don't have a lot of notes actually today, but I'm filled with notes. I have my quiet time. I have things that I wanted to share to be encouraging, life experiences with family members and friends and colleagues and my coaching clients, and all things, just a part of my life, 47 years of encouragement. I shared with you yesterday a story. Actually, it wasn't a daily dose story, but I shared with you about my addiction, my sushi addiction. And if you haven't checked that out, go back and check that out. But for today, one of the things for me, 47 years old, really there's a long part of my life where I didn't have this relationship. I wasn't really in tune with what God had for my life until about 10 years ago. And then it began kind of simply by learning, like by actually chiming into what a pastor said and going to church and listening to other people who have walked in their faith a little bit longer a lot longer, some of them, than I have. So I just kind of was like, okay, that's great, going to church and listening to that. But then I've realized over time that it wasn't enough. In fact, I learned in the Bible, and what I wanted to share with you today is in something I've been reading, going through James. I've gone through James, the book of James, a number of times, and one of the sections is in chapter 2. It talks about this whole like faith without works. And it's pretty specific that it's dead. Like without works, it's dead. It doesn't mean that you have to earn your way to a relationship with God. It doesn't mean that you have to do good deeds in order to get close and get stronger in your faith. But it is scriptural. It's in James 2, and it's faith and deeds talking about that. And I share that today because I think about just church life in general, and a lot of people, this is by no means any kind of judgmental way, just observation, even myself included, is sometimes I feel like it's just comfortable to just be a part and go to and listen to a service, listen to a sermon, listen to a pastor speak good news. And that's great. I mean, I get filled up on my Sundays, and I love that. I love worshiping with others. I love, hearing a good message from a pastor. And that's great. It helps to fill me, helps to encourage me, just as I hope I'm encouraging you right now. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Grace, and I appreciate you. And while those things are really good, and good morning, Susan, while those things are all really good, faith is really important, and you can grow in your faith by going to church, and you can grow in your faith by listening to messages from a pastor. That's all important things. And I feel like I've really grown a lot in my faith over the past 10 years. I'm in a really good spot, but I can tell you it goes beyond just the listening. Again, you can listen, and you can listen to being encouraged, the encouragement that I hope to give to you in these daily doses, right? But it has to go beyond that. Again, and this is not like for your faith, just saying in the faith world, if you're a Christian and a believer, that faith is only part of it. Faith is understanding and having that belief in God, that he has a purpose and a plan, and that you are an individual and you have this one life to go through with, and you have the choice to follow God or not, right? It's your choice. But you also have the choice to do something about it as well. And I said beyond just believing, because here's the thing, there's a lot of people who just, I believe, and that's it. They kind of end it with their Sundays, go to church on Sunday, and listen to what listen to what your pastor, or, if it's a priest or whoever you listen to, and that's a good thing. But then that's it. Sunday is like, oh, there, I'm going to get filled up, and then that's it. But that's not the end of the story. That's actually only part of it. The equation is then when you start to be filled with the love of God from you, he wants you to share that with others. Part of what me wanting to be encouraging to you right now, good morning, Jeanette, good morning, Carl, is just part of the works. And now I'm not doing this to try to get closer to God. I'm doing this simply because I feel a closeness to God already. Like he's one of the things I write my daily affirmations. The first thing is I trust in God to lead my steps. And he was in my relationship, he wanted me to share encouragement words to you, to others, and do so Facebook. Thank goodness. I mean, I'm able to do this. I'm comfortable coming on here online because I've been doing this as part of my work. Part of my business for the past 2.5 years is being an online coaching, having this visibility through video and through lives and all that kind of stuff. And I think he really prepared me for the last 2.5 years, to share some good news to people. Again, I'm not a pastor. I don't know. I'm not a theologian, right? But I do know how much God has showed up in my life, and it was beyond just going to church on Sunday. So that's my encouragement to you is just, and I'm going to go to the next level with that just in the next couple of minutes, is once you have this belief, once you have this understanding, once you have this love, you're starting to be filled by your church, filled by your pastor, filled by the other believers, and you have that community. Don't stop there. The next part is to love on others. Part of it in James 2, there's a section in there, and it's a hard section because I definitely blame of that as well, James talks about showing no favoritism, showing no partiality to others. And that means those who are less fortunate than you, those are not, instead of looking up, showing favoritism, look at the ones that are like you think of like the top, like celebrities or people that are like at a higher level, higher status, or better looking, or whatever it is. And we're supposed to show no partiality in that. And that's a hard thing, right? Is to love on others. And I can say is that requires effort. And it requires just having faith to be able to do that. It requires a lot of effort, let me tell you. And but there are others in need. There are other people. Part of why I want to be encouraging, because I know there's a lot of people that are hurting right now, the people that lost their jobs, that are people that are depressed, that came into this pandemic being depressed, and still maybe even more so. Maybe now it's so magnified. You know, when you see people driving in cars by themselves in a car with a mask on, like, I know there's people that are living in fear right now, and I know that's a hard thing. And if I can be encouraging to you, you know, that being part of the works is just to share with you how much, just so you know, regardless of where you're at, regardless of how you feel about the things that are going on, regardless of your circumstances, you got to know this, that God loves you and he will provide for your needs. He will take care of you. And all you almost sometimes have to do is listen. But then once you listen, then it requires actually taking action and doing something. So today, with this whole faith about works, is regardless of where you're at, regardless of how you're maybe in your day, maybe you don't even have any faith, I can say is that in this next week coming up, you can do something about it. It doesn't mean if you don't have a belief or trust in God, you can still think about, hey, I believe that there's going to be a better tomorrow. I believe that there's going to be something better for me coming out of this pandemic, but it's probably going to require you to take action. I say this all the time, and if you listen to any of my other videos when I talk about, sorry, the birds are like flying around. they're like dive bombing here. We put some bird food out and the other day in the bird seed, and they're now attacking it. It's pretty cool to see. So they're flying around distracting me. But I would say is what was that? Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm so the birds just distracted me. Maybe that was a good thing. Oh, as going into your week ahead is you have to take action. I talk about this all the time for people who are maybe stuck in a rut with their health. If they're putting on weight while they're here, they're not able to work out. Maybe they haven't been eating healthy. Maybe they're drinking more booze, eating more snacks, tasting more desserts. All those things is that they're, you know, in this kind of stuck mode. But here's the thing, is the only way you're going to get out of it is not just believing in it. Again, you can have faith that you will someday, when things are perfect, lose that 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. You can have faith that, oh, you know, when things in my life just get, when I get into a better spot in my life, after my kids get older and, you know, after, you know, everybody else is taken care of, then I can take care of myself. Well, that's not action. You have to take action on the things that you need to do. And I'll tell you what, I share this all the time. You're not any good to others. You can't be the best. You can't do the best in your day, in your week, in your family, in your career, if you're not taking good care of yourself. And that requires action, right? It's just kind of in a similar sense with this faith thing, is faith without works is dead. Look, you can believe in the best, believe that you're going to be healthy, believe that, you know, that even thinking of faith standpoint is believing that he'll take care of your health even if you don't take care of your health. Well, that's not true. You have to take care of your own personal health. And that's why I want to be encouraging to you. Now, on a faith standpoint, let me just talk to Christians here. Again, any Christians out there, is one of the things that's been the most encouraging to me, really, truly the most encouraging thing for me is, as a Christian man, is to care for others, to actually provide a helping hand, to share good news, to share experiences, to share testimonies, to share how God's come through with me. I serve in student ministry, and one of the things to share my life experiences and how God's helped me walk through some dark times where I know some of these young people that I'm around are going to have those dark times. It's the reality is we are going to face many troubles, right? That's biblical. It's in the Bible. But it says, well, we can take heart, because while those things may happen, like right now, is that God is in control of all of this. And just keep that in mind. And you just have to have that belief, as Christians now I'm talking to, is belief that one thing of having faith, but then actually taking action on your faith, caring for somebody. Maybe it's going to get some groceries. Maybe it's, you know, serving in your church when things, or even now they may need to have some service. Maybe it's in just loving your family and loving your spouse and providing an additional support and encouragement to your own family members. That could be a part of it. It could be in people in need and taking care of them as well. It could be helping out in your finances. If you have enough and somebody doesn't, it can be helping out there. Again, I don't know what that looks like for you, but I just want you to be encouraged by today. Well, today is like the day of rest, right? Hey, Leslie. Good morning, Vinny. Hey, what's up, Greg? And today, well, we talk about this day of being rest. Like we're going to sit, and those of you watching church services this morning, be able to sit and relax. You have your coffee. You could be in your PJs. I wear kind of the same thing to bed, my surf shirts, and and I wake up and I wear them to work and the beach and all that stuff. So I kind of have like one set of clothing, if you will. But I would say is as you're sitting and listening maybe to your service, and that's good, and be encouraged by that. But then don't just leave it there. Don't just leave it from Sunday service and be all filled up by, whatever your pastor says and the message for the day, and then end there. That's not what God wants for you. God wants you to actually then go out and do works, like do good things. And here's the cool thing is, it doesn't mean you have to do a certain amount, because there's no amount of good deeds, good works that you can do. You can't earn your way to this closeness with God. It just comes out of the overflowing that he already has, like in your life already. Like that should be enough. Once you get that, once you start feeling filled up and you're encouraged by your faith, then you need to be that encourager. Here, I'm one person, I'm a fitness guy, right? I encourage people to lose some weight. I encourage people to shut the snack closet down. I encourage people to get up off their ass and go walk, go move, get active, get busy, be healthy. So that's my deal. But how crazy is this? He is a fitness guy, right? I'm no pastor or priest, but he has called on me to be an encouragement to others and to share what I've learned. And I have some stories of faith that I can't imagine I would have gotten where I would be right now in my life if I didn't have this relationship with God. And that just is the overflowing. I feel he just wants me to share that with others. So I'm just going to encourage you today in this day of rest, right? We're supposed to be resting, but I think for the most part, most of you have probably been resting maybe a little bit too much. Is to think about what your week is going to look like for your health. Are you going to take action? Or are you just going to believe that, I'm going to get better, the gym will open up, I'll be able to take that 20 pounds and the extra 20 pounds that I put on my body over the last 6 or 8 weeks, all the stress that bound up in there, I'll just be able to do a couple of workouts and it'll be all better and stuff. And here, you can take action now on your health. Regarding your faith, you can come on and do a live and be an encouragement to others. Say, hey, I was encouraged by some bald trainer guy, and I want to come on and I want to encourage you. You can share this after you're done and to encourage somebody else. The idea is to go through your life, is to have your life and to do awesome things in your life. Be the best that you can be. You can be the best teacher. You can be the best, parent. You can be the best. But in order for you to do that is to take note that it requires action, right? It requires action, no different than your faith. I hope there's an amazing message that you hear from whatever church service you listen to or watch on TV or on YouTube or Facebook or any of that stuff. But I hope it doesn't just stop when the pastor's done talking. That's my encouragement for you today, is to maybe be encouraged by my words or by a pastor's words or by somebody in your neighborhood who maybe heard an amazing message and is encouraged. Maybe somebody that is actually doing really, really well in their health right now is losing weight right now. I got coaching. My clients are losing weight and getting in great shape right now during this time. It's kind of crazy and it's awesome. I have some that are struggling, right? Just like everybody else, but a lot of people are thriving through this. We talked about that before. And in order to thrive, it requires action. So for you, whether we're talking about faith, talking about your health, or regardless, is that you have to take action. Faith without works is dead, right? That's it. That's truly it. So listen, that's all I have. The Daily Dose, 8 a.m. I'm a little quiet. It's Sunday. It's still quiet except for the birds. They should be waking everybody up right now. I hope you enjoyed this message, and I'll talk to you later. Take care and have a blessed day.